Hi everyone, it's Debbie. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. If you're new here, I'm a reseller. I've been reselling for 21 years on eBay and 6 years on Poshmark. And today I have a what sold video for you. I'm going to share some items that sold on eBay and Poshmark in the month of June 2025. In the month of June 2025, I sold a total of 98 items for a gross amount of $2,993.63. On eBay, I sold 67 of those items for a gross amount of $2,201.62. The first one was a cleaner, and this is from the home of the person that I am working on their estate. I've talked about it in previous videos, but I found this brand and it's SCI, and this is one that hasn't sold yet. I looked up this cleaner. She had a lot of them there and the sold comps were really high, so I took those to list, and 2 of them have sold already. The one that sold in June, I titled the listing SCI Clean Encounters Spray Cleaner, 32 fluid ounces. Then I put slightly used because part of it had been used. Granite, marble, stone, partially used. It still sold for $75.77. I wanted to show you on this first one where my numbers come from. The order total, what I put as sold, is the gross amount that the buyer pays. It includes the price of the item, the shipping, and the sales tax if applicable. So the buyer paid $75.77. My earnings is what is deposited back in my bank account after the sales tax is taken out, transaction fees, shipping label. If I promoted my item, which I promote all of my listings at least 2%, and it sold from a promoted listing, that fee is taken out. So then what's left is the earnings, what is deposited back in my bank account. This I sold for my friend. However, if I were to come across this at Goodwill or at an estate sale or a garage sale and I paid $5 for it, then my profit would have been $43.21. It did take 3 months and 14 days to sell. It does not have a 100% sell-through rate, but I thought with solds that were as high as they were, it is worth it to wait a few months. When I looked up sold comps, I noticed there is a big difference between the SCI granite products that are in the dark bottle and the light colored bottle. So the ones in the dark bottle seem to sell for a much higher amount. Some of the bottles were misshapen, but I just put that in the listing and it has not seemed to keep them from selling. Some of them were used, so I just also noted that in the listing and tried my best to estimate about how much had been used out of the bottle. And I just used the sold comps, how much they sell for, how much is actually left, and based my price on how much is remaining. I sold one in July also. I'll go ahead and tell you the numbers. But it was one that was similar, and it sold for $92.18. My earnings, or the amount that was deposited back in my bank account after all of the fees and shipping were taken out, and you can see on this one, it did not sell on a promoted listing, so there was not a promoted listing fee. So my earnings were $66.12. I sold this for my friend. However, if I found this at an estate sale or a garage sale or Goodwill, a price they might charge would be $5. My profit would be $61.12. It took 4 months and 15 days to sell, but for that kind of return on investment, I think it is well worth it. In the rest of the video, I'm not going to show both of the screens of the numbers. I'll just show the one on the right-hand side, but I wanted to take these first 2 solds to show you how I arrive at those numbers, because I usually get a lot of questions on that. So you might remember to look out for it. This is what it looks like. This is one that I'm waiting on to sell. And since they are all so similar, I put a number on it so that I would be sure that when I ship it, I have the right one. Also, if it's liquid, what I do is I'll package it really carefully and make sure that there's no room for it to move. I put a paper towel underneath so it can't squeeze and spray. And then when I ship it, I will just make sure this is really secure. I will put bubble wrap all around, put it in the box, So there's not a lot of room for movement, and that's all. Just on liquids, you want to make sure that it is protected if for some reason it opens. I try to make sure that it will not leak when I ship it. The next item that I wanted to share with you is an item that I sold while on vacation. I had my handling changed to like 5 days, but the person bought it and then they asked me to ship it ASAP because they had a party to go to on Friday or something like that. So what I do in that case is if I'm on vacation and I see that it's sold, I send a message to the buyer and say, thank you so much for your purchase. I saw your note that you want it by Friday. I am so sorry, but I'm on vacation. I had my handling time changed so that I would ship it out next Monday when I return home. Would you like me to cancel the order or go ahead and ship it when I get home? And she responded back that she still wanted it. Go ahead and ship it when I get home and she'll find something else to wear to the party. I found if you don't reach out and say that and they send a note like that, they can get really mad. But if you just communicate and let them know, then it usually works out just fine. This dress I titled Eloquy Sequin Mini Dress, size 22. Cowl neck, multicolored, sleeveless cocktail party. It sold for $37.08. My earnings were $21.39. I paid just $3 at my regular Goodwill. It was marked as $5.99. I guess they thought it was a top because that's not the dress price. And then it went to the color tag that was half price, so I paid just $3 for it. It did take a little while to sell, 7 months and 6 days, but my profit was $18.39, so I was very happy with that. Then I had quite a few sales from a haul that I had recently. I'll pop up what the haul looked like, so it was great to see a lot of those items sell. I titled this listing Vintage Karen Stevens Maxi Dress, Women's 10, Sleeveless, Smocked, Tank, Slinky, Stretch. It sold for $31.83. My earnings were $23.91. I paid just $1.29. It was the color tag that was marked to $1.29 that day. It took 2 months and 26 days to sell. My profit was $22.62. The next one came from that haul also. I titled this listing Vintage Style Studio Sleeveless Maxi Dress, size large, leopard and floral print rayon. It sold for $30.11. My earnings were $19.55. I paid just $1.29 at my regular Goodwill. Again, it was on the day that one color tag was $1.29, so I paid just $1.29. It took 2 months and 26 days to sell, and my profit was $18.26. Another dress that came from that haul was the Maddie Linen Rayon. I messed up on the title of this listing. The brand of this dress is Maddie M, not Maddie, but I just put Maddie in my title. However, it was still discoverable in search under Maddie M because I filled in my item specifics, and where it asks for brand, I put Maddie M. So even if I spell it wrong in my title, forget to put it in my title, it is still able to be found by someone searching Maddie M. So I know item specifics seem like such a pain to fill in sometimes, but they have saved me many times when I mess up on my title. So it's so worth it to fill in the information as accurately as you can. Rayon tiered dress, size medium, blue sleeveless pockets sundress. It sold for $26.89. My earnings were $15.73. I paid just $5, again at my regular Goodwill. It took 3 months and 7 days to sell, and my profit was $10.73. Just a quick reminder, if you're new and not subscribed, I'd love to have you back. Just hit the subscribe button down below, and if you hit the notification bell, it will let you know when I release new videos. Another dress from that same haul was the Michael Stars dress, and I picked that one up, and I think I said in the haul, I just wanted to see if Michael Stars would still sell. I wasn't really sure, but I thought it's worth a try for $1.29. So I picked it up and it did sell, and it even had a flaw. I put in the listing that it was overall in great condition, but there was one small pinhole, and that did not keep it from selling. I titled this listing Michael Stars Tie-Dye Maxi Dress, one size fits most, and then I put extra small, small, and medium, because although it says one size fits most, I think it would have fit best extra small, small, or medium. And sometimes I've noticed in the past when I put one size fits most or all, and I put all of the sizes, someone will return it and say it was too small. So according to how it fit on my mannequin, I didn't know that it would fit much larger than a size medium. So I went ahead and limited it to those sizes. Then I put gray, black, tank, USA. It sold for $23.11. My earnings were $13.62. I paid just $1.29 at my regular Goodwill. It took 1 month and 21 days to sell, and my profit was $12.33. Another item from that haul was a sweater that sold in the middle of summer. I titled this listing, Talbot's Knit Sweater, women's size large, V-neck, tan, camel top, long sleeve, well, I abbreviated it L/S, and lightweight. It sold for $24.56. My earnings were $12.56. I paid just $1.29. In that same haul, it was the color tag that was $1.29. It took 2 months and 19 days to sell, and my profit was $11.27. Those are some of the items from eBay that I wanted to share that weren't in the haul. So I had a Goodwill haul recently, and the beginning of that is a what sold video in this same format. I shared 11 items that had already sold. So if you want to see more items that sold in June, if you go back and watch that video, you'll see 11 more. Now we will move on to Poshmark, but first I want to share the winner of the giveaway for the Jeulia Jewlery, and everybody was so nice in the comments. I wanted everybody to win. I was so glad that I have the ability to use a random comment picker because I wanted everybody to win. Everybody was so nice. I loved reading the comments. Thank you so much. But this is the necklace from Jeulia that it was in the giveaway, and if you checked out the website or purchased anything, thank you so much. If you are interested, the jewelry is just beautiful. I'm wearing the earrings that I wore in the last video today. If you use the code Debbie15 when you check out, you'll get 15% off your order, and they will know that you found them through me, and so I would appreciate that very much. So I went to do a random YouTube drawing, and I've used it so many times before. I think I've had like over 30 giveaways. I could not get it to work. So I started my screen recording at 7:59 because I said I'd do the drawing at exactly 8:00 a.m. on Monday, July 28th. You had to solve a math problem, like 4 + 1 and enter the 5 so it would know that you are a real person. I kept doing it and it kept saying it was wrong, but I was like, I know this is right. So I had to go in of it, in it, out of it, but I screen recorded the entire time. But I was like in full panic mode because I couldn't get it to work. But finally I did, and I will insert the end of the clip right here.
Congratulations to Niche NZ2254.
So congratulations. You contact me at my email, love2shop242@gmail.com, and let me know where I should send it. I will send it right off to you. Congratulations again, and thank you to everybody that left such nice comments. Now on Poshmark, I didn't sell as many items. I only sold 31 items for a gross amount of $792.01. And it was interesting, in that last haul that I had, everything from the haul that had sold so far was on eBay. That doesn't mean that nothing has sold on Poshmark. I did still have 31 sales on Poshmark. So I'm going to share a few of those with you. The first one my daughter Sydney found. She is in college and she goes thrifting every once in a while. And I told her, find something really great when you're thrifting, buy it, give it to me, I'll list it for you, and you can have the profits for spending money. She has found a few great things. She found this wedding dress, which was excellent. I titled the listing Allure Bridal Wedding Dress Gown, size 16.
Champagne. Then I put the style number. If I can locate a style number on a wedding dress, I always put that in the title in case someone is looking for that particular wedding dress. Then I wrote lace up, back, and strapless. When I list wedding dresses, I really try to think, if it were me looking for a pre-owned wedding dress, what would be important to me? And a couple things that I put in there was that it was clean and odor-free, that it looks flawless, but when I inspected it closely, I did find some marks on the interior layers, but you would not see that when it was worn. I also let them know that I started to steam it, and it steamed very well, but since I was shipping it and it probably would get wrinkled in shipping, that I wasn't going to steam the entire thing, but I wanted to let them know if they decide to steam it, it does steam very well. So those are just a few things that I like to include that I think a buyer would want to know when shopping for a pre-owned wedding dress.
It sold for $160. My earnings would have been $128, but I had to upgrade the shipping and pay extra because it was heavy. So that deducted another $13.50. So my earnings were $114.50. Sydney paid $24.99 at just a regular Goodwill, and her profit would have been $89.51. I told her it sold. She did such a great job. I was about to ship it, and I saw a message from Poshmark from her. And I was like, oh no, do not let this be someone canceling the order. Well, it was. She said, this dress would have been perfect for my daughter, but unfortunately she and her fiance broke up the night before. Can you please cancel it? And I was like, oh no, I don't want to cancel it. But I was like, no, do the right thing. That would be horrible if I knew she didn't need it and I went ahead and shipped it. So I went ahead and canceled it. And the great thing is it sold again right away for more money. So it pays off to do the right thing. It actually, the sale was in July, but I'll go ahead and tell you right now because the original one was in June. So it sold for $160 in June, canceled it, did the right thing, and it sold for $200 in July. Sydney's earnings would have been $160, but I upgraded the shipping. So after the upgraded shipping, her earnings were $146.50. Her cost of goods was $24.99, and she made a profit of $121.51. So that was $32 more for doing the right thing. I was so proud of Sydney. She's found several other items for me to list for her, and I'm like, okay, let's not find things that only profit $5 or $10. Like if you find something, make it good. And she is going in and she's just finding things that sell for great money, and it's working out really well. The next item came from a haul. I'll pop up what that haul looked like. And this was a great haul. Everything has now sold except for one item. I have one item left to sell. So this was the second to last item that sold. I titled the listing, New with Tags, $149, Salt plus Umber Isla Natural Jute Seashell Tote Beach Bag. Sold for $25. My earnings were $16.72. I paid $6.69. It took 1 year and 23 days to sell, and my profit was $10.03. So that haul has almost sold out. One pair of shoes left, and it's been a little over a year. And I've said that several times in videos. Normally, I have found when I have a haul, I recoup my money really fast within a couple days of starting to list. And in the first couple months, quite a few items sell. And then after that, things just trickle out. And by about a year, I have 1 or 2 items left. And I'm like, why haven't these sold? And so this is the same case with this haul. It's just about sold out 1 year and 23 days later. Then I have a couple more that I wrote out that were really good sales, but they are from the haul coming up. So I'm gonna hold off on sharing those until the haul. So if you want another what sold video, watch the next haul. And the first portion will have some really good solds. Another one that I thought I would share was from a haul, and it was from a viewer, and she left a note in the love note and said she watched my channel. So I went and I checked out her Poshmark closet, and it was beautiful. So many great items. A lot of the brands she had were brands that I would just love to find, but I probably never will in my area. So it was fun looking at her closet, and what a great job she's doing. Her name is Kylie, and her closet, Rainbow, RAINBEAU So if you have a moment, check out her closet, give her a follow, and maybe someone will find something that they want to buy from her. I think it's so wonderful if we support each other. So thank you so much, Kylie, for ordering from me. She purchased an item that was in a haul. It was the new in box Leapfrog Scouts Learning Lights Remote, brand new numbers shapes. Now on this one, I went ahead and inserted just a quick video clip just to show that it worked. It sold for $12. My earnings were $5.77. I paid just $2.79 at my regular Goodwill. It took 5 months to sell and my profit was $2.98. I knew when I purchased that it probably wasn't going to make a lot of money, but I thought just in case, I'm going to go ahead and pick it up. It's brand new, super easy to list. I like having some of those things sometimes, and now I'm really glad that I did because it sold to a viewer. So thank you again, Kylie. Another one that I wanted to share I got from the bins. I love picking up costumes, and I wanted to share this one as a reminder that people start shopping for Halloween costumes early. By the time it is mid-October, I feel like it's too late. So I like to try to have them listed in the summer so they're available when people start shopping for them. I titled this one Disney Cinderella Gown, Girls Extra Large Fits Women's Extra Small. I've noticed a girl's extra large often fits a women's extra small or small, so I try to put that in the title also. That way it brings in more potential buyers. Then I put costume dress long blue. It sold for $17. My earnings were $13.60. I paid just $1.02 at the Oklahoma City Goodwill bins. I listed it on October 25th, 2024. So right before Halloween, I was like, I know no one's going to buy it this late because it probably wouldn't get to them in time, but I picked it up, I went ahead and listed it, and it sold June 18th, 2025. So I'm glad I still picked it up. It was not very bulky to store when I folded it up. It didn't take up too much space, and my profit was $12.58. I went ahead and looked at sold comps to see what's trending in Halloween costumes right now. So I went to Poshmark and sorted above $50 and just looked at what is currently selling. I noticed a lot of Pottery Barn costumes. So if you see a Pottery Barn costume, you might look up sold comps and check that out. I saw Elmo, I saw a lot of Monster Sully. My daughter Morgan dressed up as Monster Sully, I think 3 or 4 years in a row. Then we finally sold the costume and it sold great a long time ago. And so that was neat to see that it was still selling. So if you see a Monster Sully costume, I would check that out. Harry Potter, that's still really popular also. So those are some costumes that you might be on the lookout for. Usually at this point, I go over all of my numbers, but it's really skewed right now. I'm doing a lot of listing for other people, so I'm paying out other people the profit, not necessarily me. So I don't want to give an untrue picture, so I'll go ahead and just pop up my page of how much I've sold. The profit would be higher if I was just listing everything for myself and getting all the profit. So I hate to really spend a lot of time going over this when this is not a true picture of what I would make if I was listing for myself. That is everything that I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy these what sold videos and wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I would appreciate it so much. And if you're new and not subscribed, I would love to have you back. Just hit the subscribe button down below, and if you hit the notification bell, it will let you know when I release new videos. Thank you so much for watching, and everybody have a great day. Bye.